The shuttle glided through the sparkling void of space, carrying 4 alien students toward a planet none of them fully understood. Its name, Earth, sounded innocent enough, almost poetic. But in the galaxy, it was known as a Class 5 hazard world. Most civilizations avoided it. Its atmosphere, gravity, and climate were considered unpredictable, even dangerous. Yet here they were, part of a special program to study the strange inhabitants humans called themselves. Ravik, a tall alien with shimmering blue skin and 6 delicate limbs, leaned against the window. He stared at the swirling clouds below. "It doesn't look dangerous," he said, his voice vibrating softly. "It looks calm. Why would anyone call it a death world?" Tella, smaller but quick, with her translucent wings reflecting the shuttle lights, laughed. "Maybe our professors exaggerate. You know how they love to scare us about planets before sending us there." Mornak, broad and green with a strong exoskeleton, shook his head. "No exaggeration. Earth is rated as the deadliest of the habitables. That ranking is not given lightly. Even a simple fall could be fatal for someone like me." Sirion, the most cautious of the group, folded her slender arms. "Perhaps the danger is not visible from space. Maybe it is hidden, waiting for the unsuspecting." Her large eyes, almost black, reflected a flicker of worry. The shuttle shuddered as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Clouds swirled violently. Lightning flashed far below, and the alien students held their grips tightly. Ravik felt his stomach twist in a way he had never felt on any other planet. When the shuttle landed, the students expected chaos. They expected alarms, panic, something to warn them that this planet earned its reputation. But nothing happened. Instead, humans greeted them. Humans with soft expressions, warm smiles, and hands raised in greeting. A tall human stepped forward. He wore a simple uniform and a badge that read, "Earth Cultural Exchange Coordinator." He bowed slightly. "Welcome to Earth," he said. "We are honored to host you." The aliens blinked. This was normal. Too normal. "Are they weak?" Mornak whispered. "They seem fragile." "Fragile," Tella echoed. "They're smiling at us. They don't even carry weapons." Ravik narrowed his eyes. "Fragile or not, the galaxy warned us. Let's not forget that." The coordinator led them out of the shuttle and toward a building that looked more like a school than anything else. Its walls were made of smooth materials that reflected the sunlight, and large windows revealed groups of humans laughing and playing. "Welcome to the Global Human Academy," the coordinator said. "Your classes begin tomorrow. Please rest tonight. We have prepared special living quarters for you." The aliens were guided to their quarters, small rooms with simple beds and storage. Nothing about them was threatening. In fact, it was almost comforting. Ravik sat on the edge of his bed and exhaled. "This is too quiet, too peaceful. Are we sure this planet is dangerous?" Sirion pulled out a small handheld device, scanning the room. "Gravity is higher than most of our home planets," she noted. "Air is breathable for us, but there are particles that could irritate sensitive species. Radiation is low, and temperatures are mild. So far, nothing deadly," Tella said, bouncing on the bed with excitement. "Maybe Earth is just a beautiful planet with an overactive imagination in galactic records," Mornak growled softly. "Don't underestimate a planet just because it smiles at you. Danger can be hidden. Patience is a human challenge, and they are patient creatures." The next morning, the students attended their first class. The lecture hall was vast, filled with humans of various ages and a few other alien exchange students. The professor, a human with a gentle face, greeted everyone. "Good morning, students," he said. "Today, we will begin learning about the human way of life, their survival techniques, and their culture." Ravik leaned toward Sirion. "Survival techniques? Is this a warning?" Sirion shrugged. Perhaps it is part of the curriculum. Let's listen. And Ram. The humans demonstrated something unusual. They ran long distances as part of a physical exercise. Their muscles were toned, yet none seemed to struggle. Some humans lifted heavy objects casually, while others moved with agility that even alien bodies found impressive. Tella gasped. They're strong. Mornak frowned. That's more than strong. That's adapted. I cannot lift that weight without straining my limbs. Ravik scribbled notes. Gravity must play a role. Earth is heavier than most planets. Humans evolved under constant challenge. That explains some of their strength. Ravik scribbled, Ron too. But the surprises did not stop. Lunchtime brought more observations. Humans ate strange, spicy foods, reacting to heat and flavors with excitement rather than pain. Some foods were hot enough to burn tongues, yet the humans continued eating with smiles. How can they endure this? Tella whispered, eyes watering from the aroma. Syrians scanned their digestive systems from a safe distance. Their biology can neutralize extreme chemical irritants. They are built for tolerance, not weakness. Mornak growled thoughtfully. Tolerance is one thing. Survival in an unpredictable world is another. This explains part of why Earth is called a death world. The final lesson of the day was a practical exercise. Students were sent to the nearby park to observe local wildlife. Small creatures scurried. Humans interacted with them calmly. And even when an animal tried to bite, the humans simply moved away and redirected it without fear. Ravik felt a chill run down his spine. They are fearless, but not reckless. Their confidence. It is natural, not learned from training. Syrian nodded. It is instinct shaped by evolution. Every generation learns to survive unpredictable threats. By evening, the alien students gathered on a balcony, overlooking a river that flowed quietly under the setting sun. They had not yet seen the deadly side of Earth, yet something was already changing inside them. This planet. It is not dangerous in the way we expected, Tella said softly. It is dangerous because it shapes its inhabitants to endure everything. They survive storms, wild animals, and extreme conditions, all without panic. Ravik stayed silent, watching a small human child skip stones across the river. The child laughed when a stone skipped far beyond expectation. The laughter sounded simple, innocent, yet Ravik felt the weight of it. Humans can enjoy life, even when challenges come. Mornak finally spoke. They are survivors. That is the true danger of Earth. Not weapons, not monsters, humans themselves, molded by a world that refuses to forgive weakness. Syrian shivered slightly. I think we underestimated them. The galaxy is cautious for a reason. These creatures endure what would kill others. As night fell, lights from distant cities shimmered across the horizon. The shuttle that had brought them here now seemed small in comparison to the vastness of this living, breathing planet. The alien students lay in their beds, minds racing. Tomorrow, they would begin their lessons in earnest. But already, one truth had settled in their thoughts. Earth was no ordinary planet. It was a world of challenge, of danger, and of life so relentless that only the strongest, most adaptable species could thrive. And humans were not just thriving, they were smiling while doing it. The morning sun rose over the Global Human Academy, spilling golden light across the campus. Birds chirped, a gentle breeze swayed the trees, and humans bustled to their morning routines as if the world itself was ordinary. But for the alien students, the normality felt almost suspicious. Ravik, Tella, Mornak, and Siriun assembled in the main hall for their first full day of lessons. Their excitement was mixed with nerves. What exactly would humans teach about survival? How dangerous could a death world really be? The professor, a human named Dr. Eldon, greeted them warmly. Today, you will see why humans are considered highly adaptable. You will observe, interact, and even attempt tasks that test your ability to adjust. The aliens glanced at one another. Ravik whispered, "I expected weapons, traps, or hazards, not school exercises." Dr. Eldon continued, "Adaptation is the key to survival on Earth. You may not see immediate danger, but humans face challenges every day. Climate, wildlife, accidents, and unpredictable events. Learning to survive them is an art." Their first exercise took place outdoors, in a large field surrounded by forest. Humans were already running drills, both for strength and for strategy. Some students sprinted across the grass, leaping over obstacles. Others balanced along narrow beams, practiced for coordination and focus. Tella tilted her head, wings twitching. "They make it look so easy, but the logs are heavy, the beams narrow, the land uneven. Even with our abilities, this is tricky." Ravik nodded. He ran a small scan on gravity levels. The reading confirmed it. Earth's gravity was heavier than most planets in their home sector. Yet humans seemed unaware of the strain it placed on their bodies. Mornak grunted, flexing his strong limbs. "It is not their strength that surprises me. It is their endurance. They push, again and again, without complaint. Most species would collapse after the first attempt." Siriun's eyes widened as a human boy easily lifted a weighted log twice the size of her arm. Their bones, their muscles, they are designed to withstand forces that would break us. And yet, they smile while doing it. Next, the students were introduced to Earth's unpredictable weather conditions. Dr. Eldon led them to a simulation zone where sudden storms could appear at any moment. Rain, wind, and even lightning strikes were mimicked. The alien students tensed as the first storm struck. Lightning cracked dangerously close. Gusts of wind bent the tallest trees, and rain soaked the ground within seconds. "Run! Take cover!" Tella shouted instinctively, but the humans reacted differently. They calmly moved into safe zones, helped others secure belongings, and continued their tasks as if the storm was nothing more than a minor inconvenience. One human teacher held open a tarp to shelter a group of students, keeping them dry, while another directed the youngest children to safety. Ravik's scanner recorded every detail. This is beyond adaptation. They are not just reacting, they anticipate. They cooperate. They remain calm under extreme conditions. Siriun whispered, "It is instinct shaped by generations. Each human learns not only to survive, but to act intelligently under pressure." The aliens watched as a tree branch broke in the storm, crashing toward a student. A human teacher leapt forward, lifting the branch with surprising strength to free the trapped child. No one panicked. No one screamed. The child, soaked and trembling, was gently comforted before continuing with the exercise. Mornak's eyes narrowed. "Do you see now? It is not the threat itself that makes Earth dangerous, it is the constant presence of threats. And humans have evolved to master them." After the storm, the group took a break beside a small stream. Humans were drinking water, washing dirt from their hands, and laughing quietly despite the storm's chaos. Tella shook her head. "They are fearless. Or maybe fearless is the wrong word. They are resilient. Nothing seems to break their spirit." Ravik agreed. "The galaxy warns us of Earth's danger, and we laughed. Yet each moment here proves why humans survive where others fail. Strength alone does not make a species formidable. Endurance and adaptability do." The next exercise introduced Earth's unpredictable wildlife. Dr. Eldon led the students into a forest clearing. Small animals scurried around, and the students were told to observe and interact. Immediately, a fox darted across their path, startling Siriun. Tella froze when a bird swooped close, its wings nearly brushing her head. Mornak tensed when a deer leapt from the underbrush. But the humans walked calmly, speaking in gentle tones, guiding the animals without force. One human child picked up a frightened squirrel, spoke softly, and placed it in safety. Another human gently moved a snake off the path without harming it. Sirion gasped. They are fearless around creatures that could harm them. Ravik shook his head in disbelief. It is not fearlessness. It is understanding. They know the risks and act anyway. This is survival intelligence. Dr. Eldon observed the group with a smile. Many of you may think humans are weak. But strength in numbers and knowledge of your environment make a species dangerous in its own way. Humans survive because they respect danger, not because they dominate it. During a break, Mornak approached a small pond to drink. A large, territorial fish jumped, splashing water over him. Instead of panicking, he observed how humans caught the same fish with ease, using clever tools and strategy. Tella laughed. Even in something as simple as fishing, humans show adaptability. Every challenge is an opportunity to survive, not a reason to fail. Ravik's thoughts returned to the galaxy's warnings. Deathworld is not just about extreme gravity or storms, he murmured. It is about constant challenges. And humans are shaped to meet them. By the afternoon, the students were sent to practice problem-solving under pressure. Humans constructed obstacles that required balance, logic, and timing to navigate. Ravik and the others attempted the course. At first, it seemed simple, but the smallest misstep caused immediate difficulty. Tella slipped on a narrow beam. Mornak struggled to lift a weighted platform. Sirion misjudged the timing of a moving barrier. Meanwhile, human students moved through with surprising ease. Not because they were stronger, but because they anticipated obstacles, helped one another, and adjusted instantly. Strength and speed are not enough, Ravik said quietly. This is about intelligence, cooperation, and instinct. Sirion nodded. Humans are not designed to conquer. They are designed to endure. Every exercise, every challenge, every risk is met with patience and planning. As the sun began to set, the alien students sat together, exhausted but awed. The campus glowed with lights as humans continued their routines, undisturbed by the day's hardships. Tella sighed. I thought we were coming here to see why Earth was dangerous. But I think I understand now. It is not the planet itself. It is the people. Ravik stared at the horizon, the rivers, the forests, the distant cities. The galaxy fears Earth not because it is cruel, but because it shapes humans into the ultimate survivors. That is why it is called a death world. Mornak flexed his limbs, still stiff from the day's exercises. And we underestimated them. Every human we have seen adapts, endures, and thrives. I cannot think of another species in the galaxy capable of this consistency. Sirion's large eyes reflected the last rays of the sun. We came expecting danger, and yet we found strength disguised as normalcy. Every day, humans survive. Storms, wildlife, and challenges that would terrify others. That night, the alien students returned to their quarters. They lay on their beds, minds racing. Earth had revealed its first lessons, and the aliens realized they had only begun to understand the planet's true nature. Ravik whispered to the others, "Tomorrow, we will see more. I have a feeling that what comes next will test us in ways we cannot yet imagine." Tella smiled, though a little nervously. If this is just the beginning, then Earth is far more dangerous than we ever believed. Outside, the wind rustled through the trees, carrying the quiet hum of the human world. It seemed peaceful. It seemed ordinary. But the alien students now knew the truth. Nothing on Earth was ordinary. Every challenge, every hazard, every moment shaped humans into a species capable of surviving the impossible. And the lessons were only beginning. The morning was calm, almost deceivingly peaceful. Sunlight streamed through the windows of the global human academy, and humans moved about their routines as if nothing extraordinary was about to happen. The alien students Ravik, Tella, Mornak, and Sirion were eager but cautious. They had learned much in the past 2 days about Earth's inhabitants. Humans were adaptable, strong, and resilient. But the galaxy's warnings still echoed in their minds. Earth is a death world. Dr. Eldon entered the classroom with a serious expression. Today, he said, you will witness one of the planet's natural challenges firsthand. We call it a storm event. Stay alert, follow instructions, and observe carefully. The alien students exchanged nervous glances. Their previous exercises had been controlled and safe, but this seemed different. Is this dangerous? Tella asked in a whisper. Dr. Eldon smiled gently. Potentially. But danger is part of learning. Humans face it every day. You will see how they survive and thrive. They were guided outside to an open field. The sky had already begun to darken. Clouds rolled in quickly, faster than any weather system the aliens had ever seen. Winds picked up, bending trees and tossing loose objects across the ground. Ravik scanned the atmosphere. Wind velocity increasing rapidly. Pressure differences. Unstable. Lightning forming. This is extreme for even the hardiest species. Mornak flexed his limbs, feeling the strain of the heavy gravity and increasing winds. I knew this would be different, he muttered. This is Earth's true test. Suddenly, the first lightning bolt struck a nearby tree, and the aliens froze. The sound of thunder followed immediately, reverberating through the air like a drum of warning. Rain began to pour, soaking everything within seconds. Tella shivered. It's terrifying. How can humans stay calm in this? But humans did. Teachers shouted instructions calmly but firmly, guiding students to safe zones. Small children were lifted and carried without panic. Some humans secured equipment, while others helped classmates who slipped on the wet ground. Every movement was precise, controlled, and purposeful. Ravik's eyes widened as he observed a teacher lift a massive metal beam that had fallen across a student. The beam was heavier than any object he had ever attempted to move, yet the human lifted it with perfect form, freeing the trapped student in moments. The child's tears were met with soft words and gentle reassurance, and then the child resumed their exercise as if nothing had happened. Sirion whispered, "Their bodies, their minds, they are built for this. They do not panic. They adapt immediately. Every movement is efficient." Ravik nodded. "It is instinct, yes, but also training. Their survival has been honed for centuries on this world." A sudden gust of wind knocked Mornak sideways. He struggled to regain his balance, shocked at the strength required to move in the storm. Nearby, a human teenager stood steady, holding a tarp over a group of students, their own body bracing against the force, as if the wind were a mere suggestion. Tella gasped. "They are..." Sirion shook her head. "Not fearless. Resilient. They do not ignore danger. They respect it and respond with intelligence." As the storm worsened, a branch from a tall tree snapped, tumbling toward a group of students. Without hesitation, a teacher leapt forward, grabbed the branch, and lifted it with both hands, moving the students out of harm's way. No one panicked. No one screamed. The aliens could hardly believe their eyes. Ravik muttered, "Most species would flee, or worse, be paralyzed by fear. Humans act, instantly, and with precision." Tella, wings dripping wet from the rain, leaned closer to Ravik. "It is like they have evolved to expect danger at every turn. It is normal to them." The aliens followed the humans to a covered shelter where younger students waited. Teachers moved between them, checking for injuries, offering blankets, and speaking softly. Even in chaos, every human knew their role. Every action had purpose. Mornak's voice was low, almost reverent. This is why Earth is a death world. Not because it attacks the weak with monsters or weapons, but because it tests you constantly. Humans do not just survive, they endure. And they teach each other to endure as well. The storm lasted for over an hour, yet no student was harmed. When it finally subsided, the alien students stepped outside, dripping but amazed. Puddles reflected the sky, now breaking into blue patches with sunlight returning. Humans resumed their activities almost immediately, helping each other repair minor damage and checking their surroundings for any remaining hazards. Ravik scanned the environment. Air pressure has normalized, ground is saturated, but humans, they are unchanged. Nothing has broken their focus, their cooperation, or their will. This is extraordinary. Sirion looked at a small human child helping another up from a puddle. I think I understand now. Humans do not survive by avoiding danger. They survive by facing it, learning from it, and helping one another. That is why they endure where others fail. Tella smiled, despite being drenched. I underestimated them. I thought Earth would be terrifying because of its storms, gravity, or wildlife. But it is terrifying because humans are prepared for everything, and nothing can stop them. The group returned to their dormitories for rest, but sleep was difficult. Their minds replayed the events of the storm over and over. They had expected danger, yes, but they had not expected grace under pressure. Humans did not panic. They did not freeze. They did not falter. They acted decisively, efficiently, and compassionately. Ravik spoke quietly as he lay on his bed. I came expecting a dangerous planet. Instead, I saw a species that thrives in danger. The planet shapes them, teaches them, strengthens them. That is the true threat of Earth. Mornak flexed again, shaking his head. Strength and adaptability. Endurance and intelligence. Every human embodies the lessons of this world. Survival is second nature. And yet they smile, they laugh, they play. That is remarkable. Siriun's eyes reflected the last rays of sunlight as she whispered, "This is only the beginning. Storms, weather, wildlife. Earth will test us in ways we cannot yet imagine. And humans will endure. That is the lesson of this planet." Tella nodded, her wings drying slowly. I thought I was coming here to study a dangerous world. But the real study is of the species that calls it home. As night fell, the aliens looked out over the academy grounds. Humans walked home, helped neighbors repair minor damage from the storm, and spoke quietly of the day's events. Life on Earth continued, unbroken, resilient, alive. Ravik's thoughts returned to the galaxy's warnings. Earth had been labeled a death world for a reason. Not because monsters roamed its forests, or because the sky struck without mercy. The planet itself was a teacher, a relentless one, and humans were its pupils and its masters. Mornak spoke softly, almost to himself. We underestimated them. Every species we have studied might have strength, intelligence, or strategy. But humans endure everything. That is why the galaxy fears them. Sirion closed her eyes, still replaying the storm. We came, expecting to witness danger. Instead, we witnessed resilience. And that is far more terrifying than any weapon or predator. The alien students lay in their beds, exhausted but enlightened. Earth had revealed one of its first true tests, and they had seen humans respond with calm, skill, and courage. Tomorrow, they would face more lessons. There were deeper challenges, from wildlife encounters to environmental hazards they could not yet predict. But the lesson of the storm was clear. Earth shapes its inhabitants to endure the impossible, and humans survive where others fail. As the moon rose over the academy, reflecting silver light on puddles and rooftops, the alien students knew one thing for certain. They had underestimated this planet and the beings who called it home. Earth was a death world. Not because it attacked, but because it molded its people into survivors of every possible challenge. And humans had mastered it all. The sun rose gently over the global human academy, painting the campus in shades of gold. After the storm, the air was crisp and clear, and the alien students, Ravik, Tella, Mornak, and Sirion, felt a mix of excitement and unease. Today, they were to experience a different aspect of Earth's death world: nature, its wildlife. Dr. Eldon met them outside the dormitories. "Today," he said, "you will learn about Earth's ecosystems. You will observe how humans interact with wildlife, how they respond to threats, and how they survive in unpredictable environments." Tella's wings twitched nervously. "Wildlife? Are we talking about small animals or big predators?" Dr. Eldon smiled. "Both, in a safe and controlled way. But remember, danger is relative. Humans face creatures that could injure or kill, yet they act wisely and calmly." The group followed Dr. Eldon to a nearby forest. The canopy above was thick, sunlight filtering through the leaves. Birds chirped, small mammals scurried, and insects hummed softly. It looked peaceful at first glance, but the aliens sensed the potential for sudden danger. Ravik scanned the surroundings. Predator density is high for this area. Several species capable of rapid movement and aggression are present. This could be risky. Mornak flexed, prepared for anything. Good. Finally, a real challenge. The students began walking along a narrow path. Suddenly, a fox darted across their path, stopping just a few meters away. It snarled, eyes alert, ready to defend its territory. Tella froze. It's going to attack!" But the human guide simply stepped forward calmly. Speaking in a soft, commanding voice, he gestured to the fox, slowly retreating while maintaining eye contact. The fox hesitated. Then, after a tense moment, moved along the path and disappeared into the forest. Sirion blinked. They are fearless, yet they do not fight unnecessarily. They respect the animals and manage the situation. Ravik nodded. It is intelligence shaped by experience. Humans do not rely on raw strength alone. They rely on observation, understanding, and timing. That is how they survive in this environment. The group continued deeper into the forest. A sudden rustling in the underbrush made Tella jump. A deer bounded out, narrowly missing her wings. The humans reacted smoothly, helping Tella maintain balance while allowing the deer to pass. Mornak grunted. Every step is calculated. They anticipate movement, they predict danger, and they act with precision. I have never seen a species handle unpredictability so naturally. Sirion scanned the area. Even their perception is enhanced. They notice small movements, subtle changes in the environment. That is how they avoid attacks, collisions, or accidents. As they moved further, a more dangerous challenge appeared. A snake slithered across the path, its scales glinting in the sunlight. Most alien species would panic at the sight of a venomous creature. Tella's antennae twitched nervously. The human guide calmly stepped between the group and the snake. Using a long stick, he gently guided it away from the path. The aliens watched in awe as he handled the situation carefully, with no harm to the snake or themselves. Ravik whispered, "Strength is not the key. Awareness, strategy, and composure, that is what keeps humans alive." The group reached a clearing where several human students were performing exercises involving interaction with animals. One student helped a small bird untangle its wings from a vine. Another assisted a rabbit caught in a trap, showing care and patience. Tella's eyes widened. They are not afraid to touch creatures that could harm them, yet they show empathy. That is remarkable. Tella's eyes. Endophore. Endophore. That is, Sirion nodded. Empathy and survival are linked. By respecting life, humans ensure they do not provoke unnecessary conflict. That is part of their adaptation. 7. Ravik scanned their biological data. Their reaction time, muscle control, and cognitive function are all optimized for sudden threats. Combined with their social cooperation, they are almost impossible to surprise. Mornak muttered. It is not just individual skill. Humans teach each other. They share knowledge and experience. That makes the entire group stronger than the sum of its parts. The lesson intensified when a large predator appeared at the edge of the clearing. A wolf, its fur dark and eyes keen, stepped into view, its gaze fixed on the humans and the alien students alike. The aliens instinctively stepped back. The wolf growled, and the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. But the humans did not flee. Instead, a teacher stepped forward, standing tall, using body language and calm commands to assert dominance and confidence. The wolf paused, analyzing the humans, and then slowly retreated without aggression. Tella gasped. I cannot believe it. Even such a dangerous creature does not challenge them. Sirion whispered. Humans do not need weapons to survive. Their presence, knowledge, and composure are enough. That is why the galaxy fears them. Ravik's thoughts raced. The planet itself is not dangerous without humans. But combine humans with Earth's challenges, and you have a species that dominates survival in every environment. The group continued through the forest, encountering various creatures, some small and timid, some large and territorial. Each time, humans reacted with skill, caution, and intelligence. Not once did panic overtake them. Not once did they act without purpose. Mornak finally admitted, I understand now. Humans are not the strongest, fastest, or most aggressive species, but they are the hardest to intimidate. Nothing surprises them for long. That is why Earth is deadly, not the animals, not the storms, not the gravity, but the species itself. As the day drew to a close, the students gathered near a river that cut through the forest. Humans were fishing, gathering water, and observing their surroundings. A child helped an elderly person step across slippery stones. Cooperation, intelligence, and endurance were evident in every action. Tella whispered, every challenge they face, they meet together. Every danger is shared and managed. That is why they endure so much and survive so well. Ravik agreed. We came here expecting monsters or deadly conditions. Instead, we find a species that is its own greatest weapon. The planet shapes them, and they shape the world in return. Sirion scanned the human students one last time. The galaxy fears Earth because humans endure. They survive storms, predators, environmental hazards, and even themselves. That is why Earth is a death world. The aliens returned to their dormitories exhausted but enlightened. The lesson of the forest was clear. Earth's challenges were constant, unpredictable, and harsh. Humans survived not by avoiding danger, but by mastering it, respecting it, and working together to overcome it. Mornak, laying on his bed, muttered, every other species we have studied might have power, cunning, or skill. Humans have endurance, intelligence, and cooperation. That combination is deadly in the galaxy's eyes. Tella smiled, though her wings were tired. I understand now. We are learning why Earth has that reputation. Not because it kills indiscriminately, but because it produces creatures who can survive anything. Ravik stared out the window at the forest below. Sunlight glimmered on leaves and water. It all seemed peaceful, yet the aliens knew better. Earth's tranquility was deceptive. Beneath it lay a world that tested, challenged, and hardened its inhabitants daily. Sirion whispered softly, "Tomorrow, we will learn more. There is still so much to see. But one thing is certain: humans endure. That is why they are dangerous." As night fell, the alien students lay awake, reflecting on the day. They had faced the forest, the wildlife, and the unpredictability of nature. They had witnessed humans act with courage, intelligence, and calm in the face of potential danger. Earth was a death world, yes. But it was not the storms or predators that made it deadly. It was the humans themselves, resilient, adaptable, intelligent, and fearless in the face of adversity. And the alien students realized something else. They were beginning to respect, even admire, the species that called this dangerous planet home. They had only just begun their journey. But the lessons of Earth were already changing the way they thought about survival, strength, and the galaxy itself. Humans did not merely survive on this death world, they thrived. And the aliens would never forget the lesson. The final week at the Global Human Academy began with an air of anticipation. Ravik, Tella, Mornak, and Sirion had already faced storms, wildlife, and the challenges of Earth's gravity and climate. Every day had shown them something new about humans, and yet they felt that the ultimate lesson was still ahead. Dr. Eldon entered the classroom with a quiet smile. Today, we will discuss why Earth is officially classified as a death world. You have seen storms, creatures, and environmental hazards. You have observed humans in action. Now, you will learn the reasoning behind the galaxy's caution. The alien students leaned forward, curious. "We have seen the humans' abilities," Sirion said softly. "We have seen their endurance and intelligence. But why does the galaxy call this a death world instead of a safe planet?" Dr. Eldon gestured to a holographic display showing Earth from orbit. "The planet itself is harsh. Gravity is stronger than most inhabited worlds. The weather is unpredictable. Natural disasters occur frequently. And the wildlife is varied and potentially dangerous. Alone, each factor could be survived by a prepared species. But combine them, far, and Earth becomes a challenge of constant adaptation." Ravik nodded thoughtfully. "We saw that firsthand. Storms, heavy winds, lightning. Yet humans did not panic. They acted, efficiently and intelligently." Dr. Eldon smiled. "Exactly. That is only part of the lesson. Humans are classified as a Class 5 intelligent species because they do more than survive, they thrive. They cooperate, they teach, and they innovate. Every generation learns from the mistakes and successes of the past. Earth's environment forces humans to develop resilience, strategy, and teamwork as a matter of daily life." Tella's wings twitched. "So, Earth is dangerous not because it attacks, but because it shapes its inhabitants into survivors?" "Yes," Dr. Eldon said. "The planet is a teacher, and humans are exceptional pupils. They endure storms, earthquakes, fires, and floods. They adapt to predators, illnesses, and accidents. And they learn to work together to overcome challenges. That combination makes them formidable." Sirion's eyes widened. "It is not strength, or speed, or weapons. It is endurance, intelligence, and cooperation. That is what makes humans dangerous." Dr. Eldon nodded. "Correct. The galaxy underestimates humans because they rarely display their full strength or danger intentionally. But they survive where others fail. That is why Earth is a death world." The aliens were quiet, each reflecting on what they had seen. The past week's experiences returned vividly in their minds. The storm, with lightning striking close, trees falling, and rain pouring like rivers. Humans acted calmly, rescued each other, and continued their tasks without hesitation. The forest, where predators and territorial animals appeared, yet humans approached them with caution, knowledge, and courage. The river, where humans fished, navigated slippery stones, and helped one another maintain balance without fear or hesitation. Ravik finally spoke. I understand now. The galaxy fears Earth not because humans attack others, but because humans survive anything. They are unpredictable, resilient, and relentless. Mornak flexed his powerful limbs, still stiff from the exercises. I have seen warriors, hunters, and strategists from across the galaxy. But humans endure more than most species can even imagine. That is what makes them exceptional. That is what makes them feared. Tella nodded. And we underestimated them. We thought danger would come from the planet itself. But it comes from the people, their ability to endure, adapt, and cooperate. Sirion whispered. We have been given the chance to learn from humans. That is rare. Most species never truly understand what makes them so strong. Dr. Eldon continued. You have witnessed the lessons. But now, you will see the ultimate demonstration. He led the group to a simulation area designed to recreate multiple simultaneous challenges. Sudden storms, shifting terrain, and wildlife encounters. The aliens were cautious, knowing that this would test them in ways they had not yet experienced. As they entered, the system activated. Wind gusts, simulated rainfall, and artificial lightning combined with moving platforms and robotic animals. The aliens felt the immediate pressure of Earth-like danger, heavier than any test they had ever faced. Ravik struggled to maintain balance on the shifting platform. This is difficult. The gravity, the motion, it is extreme. Tella nearly fell when a mechanical bird swooped close. Mornak grunted, adjusting to the obstacles. Even this controlled environment is pushing my limits. But then, humans entered the simulation as well. They moved calmly, quickly assessing each challenge, assisting each other when necessary, and adapting to the environment almost instinctively. A human student lifted a fallen beam to help another navigate a gap. Another calmly guided a robotic animal away from a hazardous area. Lightning flashed nearby. Yet, they did not panic. Their eyes were focused, their actions deliberate, their teamwork flawless. Sirion whispered in awe. They do not react, they anticipate. They do not panic, they adapt. This is beyond what we imagined. Ravik watched a human rescue another from a simulated hazard. Strength alone could not accomplish this. Only intelligence, cooperation, and endurance allow them to succeed. This is why Earth is feared. The simulation ended, and the aliens were exhausted but enlightened. They had experienced, in controlled form, the types of dangers that Earth consistently presented. Yet the humans moved through them as if guided by instinct honed over generations. Dr. Eldon smiled at the group. You see now, humans are not dangerous because they seek to harm others. They are dangerous because they endure, survive, and thrive in conditions that would destroy most species. That is why the galaxy calls Earth a Deathworld. It is a world that produces survivors, warriors of endurance, and species capable of facing any challenge. Tella's eyes were wide. So, the real danger is humans themselves? Yes, Dr. Eldon replied. Earth shapes them, trains them, and strengthens them daily. They respect danger, learn from it, and overcome it. That is the essence of survival on this planet. Ravik sat quietly, thinking back over the week. Every encounter, every challenge, every human interaction had reinforced the same truth. Humans were not merely strong, fast, or intelligent. Humans were resilient in a way that defied imagination, and their greatest weapon was their ability to endure the impossible. Mornak finally said, I have seen many species in the galaxy claim superiority. Few have the combination of endurance, intelligence, and cooperation that humans possess. They do not just survive, they thrive in conditions that would destroy others. That is why Earth is called a death world. That is why the galaxy fears it. Sirion nodded slowly. We came here expecting to study a planet. Instead, we have studied a species. And that species is remarkable. As the sun set, the alien students returned to their quarters one last time. They were tired, their bodies strained from the lessons, yet their minds were racing with newfound understanding and respect. Tella spoke softly, almost to herself. I thought we were here to see danger, but the danger is the strength of life itself. The danger is humans, surviving everything the planet throws at them. Ravik looked out the window at the sprawling landscape of forests, rivers, and distant cities. I think we underestimated them, just like the galaxy did. Humans are not monsters, but their endurance, their intelligence, their ability to survive, that is what makes them feared. Mornak flexed one last time, a thoughtful expression on his face. We have learned the lesson. The galaxy should not see Earth as a mere planet. It should see Earth as a crucible, forging a species capable of surviving the impossible. That is humanity's greatest strength. Sirion whispered, We will never forget this. We have witnessed resilience, courage, and intelligence in their purest form. Humans are survivors in every sense. That night, as the moon rose over the academy, casting silver light on the grounds, the aliens understood fully. They had faced storms, wildlife, environmental hazards, and intense simulations. They had seen humans act with calm, intelligence, and courage. They had seen cooperation and endurance beyond any measure known in the galaxy. Earth was a death world not because it attacked or destroyed, but because it produced the ultimate survivors. Humans endured, adapted, and thrived in conditions that would break almost any other species. And the alien students knew, with awe and respect, that humans were not just inhabitants of a dangerous world, they were the reason the galaxy had learned to fear Earth. Ravik, Tella, Mornak, and Sirion lay awake that night, each reflecting on their experiences. They had come to study a planet. Instead, they had studied a species unlike any other, one that endured, survived, and thrived. One that smiled in the face of danger. One that was truly worthy of the title, Deathworld. The galaxy might underestimate humans. The universe might see them as simple, fragile, or insignificant. But the alien students knew the truth. Humans endure where others fail. Humans survive what others cannot, and humans thrive on a planet that refuses to forgive weakness. Earth was a death world, and humans were its ultimate lesson.